Cousin Cassius, IFL.
Alright? How you been, alright? Good.
Careful. I know your wife watches IFL TV. Cousin Cassius, IFL TV. With me, I've got Eddie Hearn. We're back at the hotel here, the Village. What room number are you?
512.
Okay. Where do we start? Let's start with Tommy Cole and Daniel Brisweiler. An unbelievable, and I mean unbelievable fight.
Best fight I've ever seen, I think. I mean, I tend to say that every show now. Reece Buckland the other week was unbelievable, but that was I didn't even really expect it, to be honest with you. I've got a couple of chaps here. Look.
Boys, do us a favour. Give us 2 minutes. Let's do
Cassius, we love you just as much.
Give us 2 minutes.
Give him 2 minutes. Come on, lads.
I'm from. How old are you?
What are you drinking?
Yeah.
I'm 15 years old. No, seriously, what are you drinking? Eddie, what are you drinking? Corona. Corona. Cassius?
Listen, I don't want no right hip doing it, alright?
Cassius, what are you drinking?
Corona. Cool, what do you want? Look at these Freds.
Diet Coke. Yeah, feeling it.
Yeah, it's leather. I buy it
myself. Me, mate.
Right, so Diet Coke and Corona.
No, Eddie, honestly.
Easy on the right hip now.
We've been mates for about a year now.
No, honestly,
qualified.
I'll get you a drink. I'll be stood at the bar door.
You are.
If I don't get a follow from you both,
Eddie,
and a mention,
no worries.
you're not getting the drinks.
Eddie,
mate.
Sarah on our side.
Okay, mate. No.
Sarah Beverly Jones.
Sarah Beverly Jones. Isn't it?
She's there.
I call her Blue Tick Bev.
Blue Tick Bev.
Yeah, Blue Tick Bev.
Honestly, if you just slip her a bit of cash,
Honestly,
I'll show the night of my life. Honestly.
No. Boys, give us 2 minutes.
Sorry. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Cassius, you know what your best interview was? With David, with Tyson Fury outside of the fucking arena, mate. When he was Eddie, Corona, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Diet Coke, yeah?
Well, anyway, Tommy Cole, Daniel Brisweiler.
Unbelievable. I mean, to be honest with you, after the first round, I was thinking, I hope this is a good fight, because I knew Brisweiler was decent, but he was a little bit light, and I thought Tommy might just be too big for him, and then he knocked Tommy down in the second round. What was it, 7 knockdowns? 3-point deductions. It got to about the 10th round, I was like, who's winning? I just didn't, I'm going to speak to the IBF supervisor and have a look at the scorecards, because I'd like to know. I don't know.
There was an unbelievable 11th round for Tommy Cole where, I mean, one of them shots from him that Brisweiler took was...
I know. I mean, I don't like to criticise referees, but I didn't think any of the point deductions were right.
Yeah.
And I thought he could have let him go on, because they were both hurt in the fight. But he was taking a lot of punishment, and he was hurt. But listen, I mean,
what did you think about the actual stoppage?
That's what I said. I think he could have let
that,
because I thought he should have stopped him potentially the round or two before, because he was completely all over the place. But you know, maybe the referee lost control. I don't know. It was, but I don't blame him, because you know there was that much going on. Do you know what I mean? It was like it was just mad. But
the likeliness of Coyle Mitchell is looking unlikely now.
Yeah, they was just talking about him moving up a weight. Yeah, potentially to like welterweight.
Hey!
You could turn around for him.
Cornwell.
And the new!
Have you been drinking,
No, I'm sure. No, I'm driving back.
Alright.
Yeah, so I mean, he came straight up to me after and said, "Yeah, Corey Mitchell." I was like, "You just had a war. Just chill out." But I do think he's tight on the weight, and maybe they'll move up to light welterweight. So we'll have to wait and see. There's so many fights for both of them. You know.
Darren Hamilton and Curtis Woodhouse in another great fight, and it was close, wasn't it? Either way, it was close.
Yeah, I gave it to Curtis by a couple of rounds, to be honest with you. I just thought he was the busier. I thought he did more, which would probably mean he was the busier. But I just thought, you know, I spoke to him quite a few times this week, and he had so much desire to win this fight. It was like, it reminded me of when Barker fought Gill. Everything geared up to this one moment where you just would not be denied, and that's how he fought tonight. And you know, when you talk about retiring after, and I hope he does retire, because he'll never eclipse that moment. Do you know what I mean?
Unbeatable.
And if you're true to yourself, if you can't have the same desire that you had in that fight again, you've got to call it a day. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it takes you a fight to find out you haven't got that desire.
His whole team and him said, I know it's
early days,
but they've said that that's it for him.
I hope it is, because he's such a great bloke, and I think there's a lot he can give to the sport still. You know, he's such a good talker. I was talking to him last night at dinner, and he's great to listen to. He's been involved at the top level in football. He's been involved in the top level at boxing, and he's got a great head on his shoulders. You know.
What for Darren Hamilton?
Disappointing from Darren Hamilton. I didn't think he was great. You know, I think he gave a lot of the rounds away that he shouldn't have. But if he does vacate, then I would expect Darren to go in and fight for the vacant title. Maybe against Chris Jenkins in Wales. You know, maybe against Ricky Boylan. Who knows?
Maybe Tommy Cole moving up.
Yeah, Tommy Cole moving up. You know, but I was surprised. I didn't expect Curtis to win the fight. But it was a great fight. He showed so much determination, and even though Darren's a matchroom fighter, a little piece of my heart was really pleased for Curtis because I knew what it meant to him.
Lee Wood and Gavin McDonough, another exciting fight. And
I mean, that's a fight where after sort of 2 or 3 rounds, I was thinking to myself, like, Lee Wood looks really sharp here and strong, and then he just got back into the fight and out of nowhere stopped him. I mean, it was like,
should it have been stopped?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that one. Oh, earlier.
That fight should have been stopped a little bit, 10 seconds earlier.
Oh, earlier. I thought you said should it have been stopped.
No.
Right, it's difficult because he was out on his feet, but he wasn't going down. So.
Do you think referees after this whole gloves thing?
Yes, absolutely. And it plays on every referee's mind now not to jump in too early. You know, who'd be a referee, eh? You know what I mean? In any sport, not just boxing. Who would be a referee? You can't win
either way.
I mean, when I used to go to school, they had a referees association, and like the sixth formers would referee games. I used to look at these people and go, "What are you doing?" I mean, you know, who would be a referee?
Luke.
Don't be doing.
Do you know who you remind me of?
Who do you remind me?
A young Steve Davis.
A young Steve Davis.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why are you covering it?
Huh?
Why are you covering the name?
Who? Sonny Donnelly. What should I remember the name for? What are you good at?
Because I want to go to university and study sports management and become exactly like you.
Good on you. See you soon, Sonny. Cheers, mate.
See that, Sonny. You don't think he's laced that with anything?
Oh, do you know what? That's could quite easily happen, couldn't it? You have one more of those, you'll be all over me.
Quick word on Luke Campbell. Good for him to get the stoppage in the win because Moises provided a little test for him.
All I'd say is Scott Moises fought Mitchell Smith, who's a really good young fighter, and it was a real tight decision. They gave it to Moises by a round. Sorry, Feeney by a round. He didn't win a second against Luke Campbell. This is how good he is. But when they feel the power and the speed, they go into a shell and they start running, and it's quite boring. But to get the stoppage was very impressive. We all know how good Luke Campbell is. Sometimes fans are just going to have to be a little bit patient because we've got to do things right. So only his 5th fight, he got 7 rounds out. Fantastic. On to the next one.
I know sometimes, like when you ask me about your shows, I'll just big them up just to sort of maybe keep you sweet.
I don't think you do. Really.
Now, when they're a bit muggy, I think, well, I don't want to. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to piss him off too much. You know what I mean?
How'd you rate that one?
I'll rate that quite high.
You rate that better than Cardiff?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course. No, listen, it's not. Listen, if it's a poor show, I'm sure you say it before anyone else says it. If it's been a,
I know if it's a poor show because I'm sitting there, I'm thinking this ain't the best, but we're raising the bar and we're red hot right now. I mean, listen, I'm sitting here and start saying metro, but we're on another level. Do you know what I mean? And I'm gonna just keep smashing everything. I'm gonna make things better. The fights better, the crowds bigger, the atmosphere better. I'm not gonna stop. And roll on May the 31st for Froch Groves. Biggest night of British boxing ever.
But March the 1st before that big boy.
Unbelievable. Burns Crawford. And who knows what other super fights we're going to make. We're going to try and make
other things in the pipeline.
I'd like to make Kell Brook, wouldn't I?
Can you clarify just while we're on the subject of that, because...
Well, ask me a question.
I'll answer. So, yesterday, it hasn't come from Floyd Mayweather. Khan's tweeting a series of tweets that indicate that the fight with Floyd's off. Obviously yourself, Kell, I mean I tweeted me and myself because I want to see that fight. So what is your position as in regards to this fight?
Well, our position is that Kell Brook's got to fight Sean Porter for the world title. The only reason he wouldn't have that fight is to fight Amir Khan. That's the only fight he would take instead of Sean Porter. I don't believe the Mayweather-Khan fight's dead. Obviously, they ain't heard from him, so it doesn't look great. But all I'm saying is, as a promoter and a businessman, is if you've got 5 million reasons to fight Kell Brook,
Is that 5 million?
that's $5 million US
For not
to fight Kell Brook.
for Khan or on the
For
table?
Khan.
For Khan
For
to have.
Khan.
Right. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Tell me another fight. That's his biggest payday by a mile. Right? Tell me another fight that he can make $5 million in. Because let's be honest, Amir Khan, and I've got to tell you another thing, I've got a lot of respect for Amir Khan, for what he's achieved in the sport. See pictures of him, he's won a lot of belts, he's been in a lot of big fights, he's done remarkably well. But his popularity level in the UK right now is not really at an all-time high. Give the public what they want. Give them the Kell Brook fight. You know? And if it's an easy fight for Khan, like some people say it is, have it then. And take the money. I just don't see the problem about taking that fight.
What if it's more than the money they want and they're looking for the bigger fights in America?
What? Tell me a bigger fight. Like, take the Mayweather fight away. Tell me another fight.
Well, there's other nights.
Fight Danny Garcia and get knocked out again.
People suggesting Khan and
Provodnikov. Amir's been out for nearly a year now. You know, you've got to get moving.
It's not fought on 147 either, is he? So interesting to see how it pans out. But all right. Well, listen. When you look through the matchroom expenses for this weekend, you'll probably see something that you won't know what it is. It's for the sum of £150.
Is that how much it was around there? That must have been a few of them.
No, that was 6 of them.
6 of them. You know.
Hashtag brass on the match.
Did you have a brass on the account?
Yeah.
You better not have.
How would I have done that anyway, like you said?
Dirty beast.
Eddie Hearn.
Ricky Boylan's here. Bradley Skeet's here.
What are they doing here?
It's Ricky Boylan, team match, isn't it?
Were they at the fight?
Yeah. No, they're just in the hotel.
I didn't even know they was at the fight. That's
Ricky! Right, alright mate, we'll sign out. You can interview Ricky.
Kugan Cassius, iFull TV, Fast Go Ready. Thank you very much.